Welcome to the final part of the HOA saga. In Part 6, Margaret's empire is gone, and justice has finally been served. If you haven't seen Parts 1 to 5 yet, catch up now to see the full journey from fines and intimidation to ultimate revenge. Margaret's removal from the HOA presidency was only the beginning. Power, once accumulated through fear and deception, often lingers like a shadow. She had been publicly humiliated, but I knew that without accountability, she might attempt a comeback. This chapter was about ensuring her empire was obliterated, not through rash action, but through strategic precision, patience, and evidence-based justice. The days following her removal revealed her desperation. Margaret sent letters attempting to intimidate residents, made baseless legal threats, and even tried confronting a few neighbors late at night. Yet, the community was no longer paralyzed by fear. The network I had built, combined with the unity forged over months, created an environment in which her intimidation held no sway. Meanwhile, I moved carefully. Every piece of evidence, tax discrepancies, misuse of HOA funds, video proof of trespassing, and recorded harassment was compiled and distributed to the proper authorities. The local board, auditors, and county officials received a complete dossier. This ensured that Margaret's actions could no longer be dismissed as minor errors or misunderstandings. The law was now a mechanism of accountability, not a tool of delay or fear. The response was immediate. Audits began, legal reviews commenced, and authorities initiated investigations into financial fraud and potential tax evasion. The meticulous documentation left Margaret with no room to maneuver. Each attempt she made to dispute claims or intimidate neighbors only added to the mounting evidence against her. Simultaneously, the neighborhood began to heal. Lawns were tended without fear of fines. Decorations were displayed freely, and residents parked vehicles or added features in compliance with their rights, not Margaret's whims. The sense of liberation was palpable. People who had lived under oppression for years now smiled, shared stories openly, and rebuilt trust within the community. Margaret, on the other hand, was increasingly isolated. Her attempt to reclaim influence were systematically dismantled by both legal and social pressure. News of her investigation spread to the community and beyond, making her a cautionary tale. The empire she had built on fear and selective enforcement was not merely stripped, it was destroyed entirely. The psychological impact was profound. Residents who had felt powerless now realized the collective strength they wielded. Margaret's downfall reinforced the principle that authority depends on consent, trust, and fairness. Abuse of power, no matter how entrenched, is temporary when people unite. For me, the victory was not just personal retribution. It was the restoration of justice. Every fine she had imposed unjustly, every invasive note, every moment of intimidation was vindicated by the collapse of her authority. The neighborhood regained not only freedom but dignity, and the HOA transformed from an instrument of control to a fair, transparent community organization. Months later, with audits completed, legal matters addressed, and new leadership firmly in place, the neighborhood was at peace. Margaret had retreated entirely from public life, her reputation in tatters, facing ongoing scrutiny that ensured she could not resume her reign. The storm had passed. The lessons were clear. Patience, strategic observation, and a quiet power unity can dismantle even the most entrenched tyranny. By turning her own tactics against her, through documentation, evidence, and collective action, I had ensured that her empire could never rise again. In the end, Margaret had tried to ruin my life, but the truth, preparation, and solidarity ensured that it was she who faced the ultimate consequences. Justice had been served, the community freed, and peace restored. The neighborhood would forever remember the downfall of a tyrant. Conversations, barbecues, and even YouTube videos will retell the story. That silence empowers oppressors, but observation, strategy, and unity can topple even the most controlling figure. Tyrants only remain unchallenged as long as their victims stay silent. And the moment they speak and act, the balance of power shifts irreversibly. Thanks for following the full HOA saga. Subscribe for more unbelievable stories, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a dramatic reveal.